From the Crystal Cathedral in Garden Grove, California, welcome to the Hour of Power with Robert Schuller, America's television church, presenting the face and voice of positive Christianity to the world for over 27 years.
The 20th century will be remembered for many things. The century of the great wars, the century of the discovery of atomic and hydrogen power, the century of the breakup of colonializations and imperialism, the century of collectivism, the conflict between communism and socialism. Very important, this century will be remembered as a century of the introduction of a new science called psychiatry, with variations in psychology, launched at the first of the century through the influence of Sigmund Freud. Then came the influence of Dr. Adler. And the last half of the century, the most dominant influence worldwide was Dr. Viktor Frankl from Vienna, Austria. And one of the treasures I have is the joy of having studied under him, learned from him, and I owe so much of what is good about my message to Dr. Viktor Frankl. I've been in his home in Vienna not too many years ago. He's a great positive believer. He died Tuesday, September 2, at the age of 92, following a cardiac bypass surgery. He will be missed by millions around the world. Today I have with me someone who knew him even better than I, Dr. Robert Barnes, who is the president of the Viktor Frankl Institute of Logotherapy and a member of their international board of directors. And following the death of Dr. Frankl, he wrote asking if he could join us one of these Sundays, and he's with us here today. Please welcome with me Dr. Robert Barnes.
Thank you, Dr. Schuller. It's such a privilege to be with you again this morning in the Crystal Cathedral. And thank you for what you said about yours and my beloved mentor and friend, Viktor Frankl, survivor of 4 Nazi prison camps. Viktor Frankl developed a theory of psychotherapy known as logotherapy. He taught us that everything can be taken away from us, our material possessions, our health, our loved ones. Everything except one thing, and that's our freedom to decide how we will respond to the circumstances of our life. Frankl said it's not so important what happens to us. What is important is how we respond. And that's what you teach to your congregation worldwide. It's not the load we carry, it's how we carry it. A number of years ago, Viktor Frankl began pointing out that the United States of America has a Statue of Liberty on the East Coast, and that we should balance it with a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast. He said, it's important that we balance freedom and responsibility. We should take responsibility for our lives and realize that we are not victims of our biographies. Rather, we should be responsible for our futures, our choices, our actions, and be responsible for the lives of others. The Viktor Frankl Institute of Logotherapy has members in 22 countries on 6 continents. And several years ago, we developed what we consider our highest award that the Institute bestows, and we named it the Statue of Responsibility Award. We wanted to make the first presentation of that award following the death of Viktor Frankl to you. As my students, my graduate students at Hardin-Simmons University, where I teach, often hear me refer to Viktor Frankl's fondness for quoting Albert Schweitzer, who said, "The only ones among you who will be truly happy will be those who have sought and found how to serve." Dr. Schuller, that's one of the hallmarks of your life, serving. There are so many parallels between your positive theology and Viktor Frankl's logotherapy. Viktor Frankl did not emphasize what was sick in mankind, but instead what was well. Not what we have lost, but what we have left. You emphasize turning our scars into our stars. Viktor Frankl emphasized turning our tragedies into triumphs. Perhaps without your realizing it, the rather prophetic benediction that you gave to Viktor Frankl came true in his life. You see, the last time he was with you here in the cathedral in January 1991, you acknowledged his advanced age and his remarkable contributions to humanity. And you said to him at that time, "If I could have one wish for you, Dr. Frankl, it would be that one day you would go to sleep and not wake up. And if that happens," you said, "you will go with pride behind you and love around you and hope before you." And Dr. Schuller, that's exactly what happened. I would like to read the inscription of our award. It says, "The Viktor Frankl Institute of Logotherapy is honored to present its highest award, known as the Statue of Responsibility Award, to Dr. Robert H. Schuller, whose personal life exemplifies the defiant power of the human spirit, and whose worldwide ministry has helped so many to turn their tragedies into triumphs. Presented in memory of Viktor E. Frankl, MD, PhD, October 5th, 1997. Congratulations, Dr. Schuller."
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. I have, well over 100 of things, honors on a big wall, but none that means as much as this. So I think Viktor Frankl stands second only to Jesus Christ as a teacher in my life, and enabled me to take classic, solid, positive theology, interfacing it with the therapies that I could only have learned from a man like him, and put it together in little 20-minute talks. I hope they're not sermons, and in books. It's the greatest honor of my life. I don't feel I deserve it at all. But I'm so proud to receive it that I don't want to tell you that you made a mistake. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.